If one healed, 5 more popped up in its place. So it was just too aggressive. It was too aggressive, y'all. It started to heal my breakouts immediately. Like within the first week I saw results. Hey friends, Stacy here, and I'm back with another video for Stacy Glows. Okay, so in today's video I'm going to be talking about something that is probably very sensitive to some of you girls watching this video, and I can totally relate and totally understand where you're coming from, because I have dealt with this and have come out the other side. So I really want to share my story with severe acne and hyperpigmentation, and how I dealt with it and how I came out the other side having clear skin, and what you can do to feel better and to look better while you're dealing with this, and hopefully find a solution. Okay, so let's dive into this video. I actually never really suffered with acne or any kind of severe breakouts throughout my life until my late 20s, when I had a severe breakout and had like cystic acne. I'll share some pictures on the screen while I'm talking. Cystic acne, which led very dark hyperpigmentation, almost black spots on my face. So it was pretty devastating. Like I said, I didn't have pimples and stuff growing up. I did have like micro texture, but from looking at me you wouldn't know that I had pimples unless you got up close and you could see that I had that texture to my skin sometimes, and would get the occasional breakout around my period or something like that. So having like crazy breakout in my adulthood was very traumatic. I was, you know, started to feel super down and not confident, because it was noticeable and it was shocking to everyone around me, because they were like, what's going on with your face? People would literally try to help, but really it was just more annoying and frustrating to be like, are you not washing your face? Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? And it's all stuff that I had been trying, and I was just so frustrated and felt so like helpless, and was like, is this gonna be my life from now on? Like, why is this happening? Yeah, so it was a really stressful time. It just kept getting worse and worse, and I started to feel like I didn't want to go out. It became too difficult to even cover up with makeup, because the pimples were so large and raised that makeup didn't even look good. So, and also, you know, you don't really want to be wearing makeup when you're trying to heal your skin. You want to allow it to breathe, and the skin was very raw and sensitive, so taking off the makeup was very difficult, because it would literally be painful because the skin was so raw, and it was just terrible. It was just terrible, guys. But at some point I just had to tell myself, okay, you're dealing with something, but this is not who you are. You are still a beautiful, fun, sweet girl on the inside. It doesn't really matter what you look like on the outside, whether people are pointing it out. This will pass. This is something that can be, you can get through this as long as you believe you can and you make the proper steps. And that's what I just had to decide, you know, one day, like, this is not me, this is just something that I'm going through, and I had to be okay with the process. So the first thing I would say to you guys is I totally understand how frustrating and stressful it can be, and how you just want to stay home, and how you just want to cover up, and you don't want anyone to look at you. But what you have to know is, I didn't like to hear this when I was going through this, but it's going to take time to heal this. It is going to have to take time, and you will have to be patient. And one reason why that's important is because, A, yes, it's going to take time, and you don't want to have all that stress and anxiety during the process, because that will actually make it take longer. Because acne, what I've learned, is a holistic problem. It's not just topical, and it's not just internal. It's both. So in order to address the issue, you're gonna have to come at it from all sides. So you're gonna have to minimize your stress. Think about what could possibly be causing this. Is there a certain environmental trigger? Is it emotional? Is it internal? Is it what you're eating? What is causing this? And in my case, I never really determined specifically what was causing it, but I did attack it from all sides. Yeah, so the reason why I tell you have to be patient and you have to like be easy on yourself is because that also affects the way you even treat your skin. Like if you're so frustrated and you're trying to rush it and you're just like scrubbing at your face and, you know, like harsh and like aggressive with your face, it's going to make it worse. It's going to aggravate the inflammation. Now that you know how you need to approach the situation, I'm going to tell you kind of what I did to get from the height of the acne situation to now having clear skin. Okay, so first I pretty much tried everything. I started by using your basic acne face washes that you can get at the drugstore. Those don't work. You probably already know that. I also started using tea tree oil, which I had been using prior, and that usually helps me with my small pimples. Okay, tea tree oil is really good for that. It's definitely anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and it's great. But for cystic acne, I don't know if it's working for you, but it did not work for me for the severity of acne that I had. I also tried acne.org. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with that system. If not, I recommend you look into it because I do know that it has worked for thousands of people. It just didn't work for me. It is a benzoyl peroxide, which is a very important ingredient for treating acne, just like salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, you know, stuff like that. I definitely changed my diet. I started incorporating more vegetables and trying to be even more clean. I already had a pretty good diet at that phase in my life, so I wasn't thinking it was that. But I did know that I would indulge in like some sweets at least every week, or so I had to like completely eliminate that because even I didn't want any of the slightest bit of anything to like, you know, contribute to more breakouts, because I was constantly breaking out. Like it was just, they were just adding, they weren't going away. If one healed, 5 more popped up in its place. So it was just too aggressive. It was too aggressive, y'all. It was too aggressive. So yes, I changed my diet. I think that did help. That wasn't the main solution for me in the end, I don't think. But actually it all works together. So I can't even say that. Guys, everything works together. It's your internal, it's your external. You know, changed out my pillowcases, changed my skincare routine and all of that. Another thing I will say, the process of the breakouts can sometimes take a life on its own, and your immune system will just keep producing those results over and over. Like you'll just have a snowball effect of like more and more pimples and breakouts, even if you've taken away the trigger, right? So you have to keep on your skincare routine long enough to break that cycle so that you can actually see the downturn of, you know, starting to recover and heal. Because sometimes, you know, it just like feeds into itself, and more pimples breed more pimples. Okay, so I started using the Ordinary products. I used these are their like serums, kind of. So this is the salicylic acid. It might not focus in the camera, but you know, maybe I'll insert a picture, some links to them. This is a salicylic acid 2% solution. Mind you, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to try this because I know that from my research, no one's like salicylic acid is that helpful, especially for like severe acne. That's what's used in all of the drugstore face washes and things like that. I didn't expect it to actually help me that much, but I found some good reviews on this, so I tried it. Guys, this is the truth. This solution, it started to heal my breakouts immediately. Like within the first week I saw results. And in addition to the salicylic acid, I also used the niacinamide. And this is also meant for blemish prone skin and to help with the hyperpigmentation as a result of your pimples and all of that. So I used that, and like I told you and like you saw in the pictures, I definitely suffer from a lot of hyperpigmentation from the acne. So in order to treat that, I used the alpha-arbutin. The niacinamide also helps, but the alpha-arbutin was really helpful in fading away the dark spots and also giving a nice glow and brightness to the skin overall. It was amazing. And then I also made sure to use sunscreen, okay? I used SkinCeuticals UV Defense Broad Spectrum SPF 50. It's a nice formula that's light and didn't give me a white cast to my skin. It's slightly tinted, but I think they have some that aren't, to make sure that you don't get that white cast. And that really helped to prevent sorry about that, the camera died. But as I was saying, you'll want to use your sunscreen because that will you want to protect yourself from, you know, your dark spots getting darker, okay? I also use this the Glossier solution, which is a chemical exfoliator. I use it in the place of my normal toner. And this is 10% AHA, BHA, and PHA. Those are acids. And it's also a salicylic acne treatment, okay? This stuff really helped me. The reviews on this are mixed. So some people found that it was super helpful in helping to treat their acne. Some found no benefit at all. And then a few people I saw in the reviews also had like it caused a reaction for them. So you definitely want to you definitely want to spot test any new product that you're using so that you don't use something that's going to give you an even worse reaction. Something with that kind of an acid in there will also help to kind of exfoliate and get oxygen into your skin, which is going to help you to kill the bacteria that causes acne, okay? So what I'll do is I'll wash my face first, and I'll use I use like a goat milk soap. That again will help to fade your dark marks and help to clear the skin and treat your acne. So I use a goat milk bar soap on my face, let it sit for a little bit, rinse that off, then I'll go in with the chemical exfoliant, and then I will go ahead and do my my serums, okay? Yes, and I use all three, layer those on, starting with the salicylic acid because I definitely want to get my acne fighting ingredients deeper into the skin. Then I will finish off with just a light oil-free moisturizer. This one is just from Trader Joe's. It's an antioxidant facial moisturizer. It doesn't really have any major actives, just some like plant-based ingredients to soothe and hydrate the skin, okay? Because a lot of times acne treatments dry out the skin, so you want to combat that with a nice lightweight moisturizer that's non-comedogenic, meaning it will not clog the pores, because we're trying to open up the pores and get more oxygen into the pores and treat the bacteria, okay? So then I'll do that, then I'll follow up with my sunscreen, and that's that. And I just stuck to that morning and night. After a few weeks I started seeing results. After a few months I started to see even more results and saw that my acne was starting to fade away and I wasn't getting new pimples. That's the major test of it. Pimples were going away and I wasn't getting new pimples, and the dark marks were starting to fade. It took a while to fade all of those dark marks. You saw the picture, you know. It's going to take some time for all of those to fade because those might be on the first layer or the second layer of your skin. Those are deep down hyperpigmentation. It's going to take some time for that to fade, for your skin to get a new layer and all of that. So you have to be patient, but as long as you're getting results and as long as you're moving in the right direction, you'll be happy, because a little bit better is still better. Yeah, so I hope this helps, and you know, don't worry, don't freak out. It's gonna be okay. Promise, I've been through it, and you know, it's gonna be okay. All right, so let's chat in the comments. I'll be there, so send me a message in the comments and let's talk about it and answer some of those questions and feedback that you have. And I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, ciao.